A few months ago, His Holiness Venerable Roger asked His Holiness Dalai Lama about any news about Lama Rinpoche's incarnation, and there wasn't any. It must be 9 months ago, and so he told us to do this prayer, kind of create the cause. So it's an unusual thing. It's called chanting the names of Manjushri. It says literally chanting the names of Manjushri. It's from a sutra, but you'll hear it's kind of very esoteric. You don't quite know what they're saying. I'm always, because I'm an editor, I would never know how to proofread this because it's so odd. You can't tell if it's right or wrong. I know, especially if you read the sutras, you have no idea. You drown in confusion when you read the sutras. You have no idea what they're talking about. Honestly, I'll tell you, it's most unusual. So this is just saying all these things. You'll hear it. There's endless it seems like there's endless synonyms for Manjushri's name, all these qualities or something. It's quite intense. It's from a sutra. It's the supreme chanting of the names of the best one, Manjushri, the wisdom deity. He's the Manjushri, Manju, gentle voice, is the Buddha of wisdom. It was extracted from the noble net of illusion, a Mahayoga Tantra, in 16,000 parts from its chapter on the net of samadhi. It was spoken by the blessed one, Shakyamuni, the Tathagata, that's what they say. And the reason we're saying it is for the Rinpoche to come back quickly. Great force. So I will explain that to people.
Right.
I always say that every time we meet together. There's Lama Zopa Rinpoche. He's the teacher for many of us. He also happens to be the spiritual director of this organization of centers that the center he was part of and that I'm part of, the Foundation for the Preservation of the Mahayana Tradition, established by Lama Zopa Lama Yeshe. Lama Yeshe passed away in 1984, and Lama Zopa's been sort of bossing it ever since, the spiritual director. And so the way it is, you have this, maybe we'll talk about this weekend. Very especially in the Tibetan tradition, you develop a relationship with a teacher, spiritual mentor. And we'll talk about that. And so anyway, Lama Zopa is that for us, some of us, and the head of this organization. And he passed away 18 months ago, nearly 2 years ago, April 2023, quite suddenly. And so they're very strongly in the Tibetan tradition. There's this, especially in the Tibetan tradition. I mean, reincarnation is part of everything in Buddhism, but especially emphasized in the Tibetan tradition, and where they have this tradition. It's been happening, I think, 1,000 years old, a system where they look for and then find supposedly the reincarnation of the previous teacher, and then they're reinstated as the teacher. The term that's given to people like that is this term, precious one. Precious one, yeah. So this is, so that's the idea. So we're creating the cause and praying. And why we would do that is because, so sometimes if he's a holy being, it means he's got the power to do exactly what he likes. He can reincarnate where he wants, when he wants, how he wants, and not even in just one body, but in more than one body. That's how they say. So you sort of think, well, why would you bother asking? If he's able to do it, why do you need to do these prayers to request? Well, it's very logical, really, that we have to create the cause, as they say. So if he's our teacher, we want him back. We need to request him. It's a bit like if you're a doctor, you're qualified to help everybody, and you set up shop with your little signpost out the front. And if people never come, then why would you stay? So if people come to you, please doctor, please heal me, then you're going to keep doing it. So it's like that. We have to create the cause from our side, because it's very much a dependent arising, the relationship between a teacher and a disciple. So it's, so the more we talk about karma, the more it'll make sense. We're talking about karma at the moment here. Few people, okay? So everybody, these people we're meeting now for many years now, several years since the pandemic. Actually, Lama Zopa Rinpoche asked us monks and nuns, I think it was started that way. Every Saturday, we actually dedicated every Saturday, 24 hours throughout the different continents. We'd have given 30-minute slots. We did certain prayers and practices. So since Rinpoche passed away, we've been continuing that. So this is a slot that I've been doing for several years, 9 o'clock on New York time, Saturdays. Yeah. So here it is, 2 p.m. in Scotland, okay? Homage to ever youthful Manjushri. So I'm going to say it very loud and it has to be very loud, but fast, because otherwise we'll never finish it. It takes a long time. So you can just sit and listen if you like, sit and relax, listen, whatever you want to do. Say it with me as you wish. So then Vajradhara, the request, chapter 1, the request. So then Vajradhara, ever glorious, supreme subduer of the heart to tame the hero, conquering the triple world, the Vajra Lord and Master of all secrets, his eyes wide open like white lotuses, his face just like a lily in full bloom, while shaking in his hand repeatedly a Vajra of the highest excellence, accompanied by countless Vajrapanis with features such as fierce, turbulent brows, subduers of the hard to tame, heroes appearing with heroic, hideous forms, brandishing in their hands their mighty Vajras, the tips of which emit intents of light, great benefactors to all living beings, through skill, through insight, and through great compassion, with pleased and happy attitudes, with joy, their bodies those of wrathful deities, protected to assist the Buddha's deeds, their bodies bowing reverentially, paid homage to the true awakened one, protector, blessed one, Tathagata, and joining his two palms respectfully, he said before the Lord the following: O omnipresent Lord, for my well-being, with due concern for me and for my sake, that I may reach the complete basis of illusion's net, and for the sake of every living being sunk deep into the mud of ignorance, their thoughts disturbed by various afflictions, so that they may obtain the highest fruit, may you, the most supreme awakened one, the blessed one, the world's guru and teacher, who knows the great Samaya's reality, aware of wishes and abilities, reveal to us the great chanting name of the wisdom body of the Pleasant One, the great Ushnisha, master of all speech, the self-arising wisdom emanation, the wisdom deity called Manjushri, these names with meaning both profound and vast, of great significance, unmatched, serene, with goodness at their start, middle, and end, proclaimed by Buddhas of the eons past and to be taught by Buddhas yet to come, and taught not once but time and time again by all the Buddhas of the present age, which were respectfully recited in illusion's net, the Tantra most supreme, by multitudes of mighty Vajrapanis, the joyous guardians of secret mantras. Just this I shall uphold with firm resolve until I reach my final liberation, so that I may become a protector, the bearer of the Buddha's every secret. And this I shall reveal to living beings according to each one's capacity, in order that afflictions may be quelled, so ignorance may fully be dispelled. With this request, the Tathagata, the master of all secrets, Vajrapani, his body bowed, his palms politely joined, then stood before the Lord devotedly. Chapter 2, the reply. So the Blessed One, Lord Shakyamuni, the best of men, the fully awakened one, extending from his mouth his handsome tongue, a tongue unmatched in both its breadth and length, displaying a gentle smile to living beings, a smile that fills the threefold world with light, that tames the enemy, the form Maras, that ends unwanted birth in all three forms, his voice melodious like that of Brahma, completely filling all the triple world, replied as follows to the Lord of Secrets, to Vajrapani, strongest of the strong: that you, abounding in supreme compassion and aiming to assist all living beings, are willing and prepared to hear from me this evil-quelling, purifying chanting, the chanting of the name, so filled with meaning, of Manjushri's embodiment of wisdom. How truly excellent, O Vajradhara, how excellent of you, O Vajrapani. And so I shall, O Master of all secrets, reveal just that to you most splendidly. With single-minded focus, listen well. How excellent, responded Vajrapani, so truly excellent, O Blessed One. Chapter 3, the survey of the five families, and then the Blessed One, Lord Shakyamuni, surveyed in full the family great with mantras, the family of the Vidyas and the mantras, the family that is threefold by its nature, the family great Ushnishas. Chapter 4, the stages of awakening according to illusion's net. And then about the Lord of speech, he spoke these verses, which include 6 kingly mantras, which manifest from non-duality, which bear the quality of non-arising. Now some Sanskrit words here. Mutira Buddho Buddhanam Tradva Vatinam Vajra Tikshna Dukkha Cheda Prajna Jnana Mutaye Jnana Kaya Vagishvara Apachanaye Te Nama. Chapter 5, the great Vajradhatu mandala. And so he is the Blessed One, the Buddha, awakened fully, born of the letter R. He is the letter R, the foremost phoneme, supreme most syllable with meaning, great, arising from great vital force, unborn beyond expression, based on words or speech, the foremost cause of every form of speech, the shining forth of every kind of language. Great feast who takes the form of great compassion, of great passion, producing bliss in every sentient being. Great feast who takes the form of great anger, great enemy of every mental poison. Great feast who is by nature great delusion, delusions vanquished over deluded minds. Great feast who is in essence great fury, great adversary to all furiousness. Great feast who takes the form of great desire, who vanquishes desire in all forms. He is great carnal lust, he is great bliss, he is great happiness, he is great joy, with great appearance bearing form supreme, with great complexion, marked by great physique, with great renown. The great munificent one is mandala, of voluminous and great, the bearer of the mighty sword of wisdom, the foremost goad for taming great afflictions, possessing great renown, his glory great, his brightness great, his lustre most supreme, the most wise upholder of the great illusion, fulfiller of the great illusion's aims, enraptured by the great illusion's rapture, the great illusion's great illusionist, the foremost lord of great munificence, supreme upholder of great discipline, intense supporter of great tolerance, with valor rooted in great diligence, samadhi resting through great meditation, endowed with bodies flowing from great wisdom, both great in strength and great in skillful means, a brimming ocean filled with vows and knowledge, by nature great in kindness, limitless, the foremost mind, enriched by great compassion, of great insight, great intelligence, great dexterous one, with methods ever great, commanding powers and great miracles, with driving force supreme, with speed unmatched, renowned, great lord of foremost majesty, most valorous owing to his great might, destroying the massive mountain of becoming, unyielding, holding strong a massive Vajra, great terrifying lord, the great cruel one, provoking fear in great and daunting creatures, protector as the greatest of all Vidyas, a guru as the greatest of all mantras, traversing well the Mahayanas path, himself the Mahayana's foremost way. Chapter 6, the wisdom of the immaculate dharmadhatu. He is Mahavairochana, the Buddha, great sage, observing great intensive silence, arising from the great mantra way. He is at heart the great mantra way, accomplishing the 10 paramitas, having the 10 paramitas as home, in whom the 10 paramitas are pure, for whom the 10 paramitas are means, protector, reigning over all 10 grounds, residing steadily on all 10 grounds, made pure in nature by the tenfold knowledge, maintaining purity through tenfold knowledge, with tenfold forms, intent on tenfold content, with tenfold strength, pervasive lord of sages, achieving every aim for every being, endowed with tenfold mastery, supreme, beginningless, complexly devoid, by nature pure, reality and essence, unwavering, a speaker of the truth, with speech and actions perfectly aligned, a teacher of the non-dual truth, non-dual atop reality's most lofty peak, with selflessness as wild lions roar, instilling fear in deer-like misled seekers, with journeys fruitful, travelling everywhere, as swift as thought in all Tatagatas, a victor, slayer of foes, triumphant lord, a universal king with forces great, assembly head, instructor for assemblies, assembly lord, assembly chief, the ruler, most influential, bearing precious burdens, not other bound, his way the greatest way, the lord of speech, the master of expression. Most skilled in words, adept with language, truthful with boundless words, the teacher of the truth, providing teachings on the fourfold truth, not coming back, not turning round, Rhino, the leader of the Pratyeka Buddhas, gone forth by going forth in different ways, a single cause of all great elements, Arhat, Bhikshu, defilements exhausted, devoid of passion, master of the senses, arrived at comfort, met with security, for he having cooled down is free from stains, equipped in full with knowledge in its base, the Sugata, the best knower of the world, not thinking me, not thinking onto mine, established in the system of two truths, upon the edge of psychic life's far shore, with deeds accomplished, resting on the bank, emerging from untainted lone awareness, with sword-like insight ever penetrating, the sun, the Dharma king, the noble Dharma, supreme illuminator of the world, the Dharma Lord, the sovereign of the Dharma, the teacher of all of the path to excellence, accomplishing all goals, fulfilling aims, completely free from wants of any kind, bereft of thought and non-depleting source, the Dharma source, supreme, beyond decay, enriched by merit, merit's gathering, unique great wisdom, wisdom rich, aware of what exists and was not, while gathering the twofold gathering, eternal, yogin, king of everywhere, the object and the mind of concentration, the master of intelligent reflection, for by oneself alone he is experienced, immovable, the ultimate beginning, the holder of the three enlightened bodies. The Buddha, formed of 5 embodiments, the omnipresent, made of 5 wisdoms, his diadem, with 5 awakened ones, with all 5 eyes, maintaining non-attachment, the great progenitor of all the Buddhas eminent and foremost son, arising from the world of true insight, the sourceless Dharma source, existence ending and comprised of Vajras, holy, dense and firm, the newborn sovereign ruler of the world, emerging from the sky, the self-arisen, a massive blaze of knowledge and of insight, illuminating beacon of great light, a lamp of wisdom shining brilliantly, a light for beings, a lantern unto wisdom, with great supreme, most radiant, the Vajra, the Vidya king, the greatest mantra's lord, the mantra king, achieving noble aims, the great Ushnisha, marvelous Ushnisha, the lord of space, revealer of all things, the best embodiment of every Buddha, with eyes the joy of every living being, creator manifesting varied forms, great sage deserving praise, deserving worship, a mantra born unto the triple family, upholding mantras of the foremost pledge, the greatest bearer of the triple gem, who teaches all 3 peerless vehicles, the snare unfailing, most victorious, a snatcher ever great, the Vajra snare, the Vajra hook, the snare of excellence. Chapter 7, the mirror-like wisdom, called Vajra Bhairava, he is terrific, the 6-faced, 6-armed, six-faced, the king of anger, hideous, 6-eyed, 6-armed, the ever-powerful, bearing his terrible fangs, a skeleton, hala, hala, 100,000 faces proud, the Yama killer, ruling obstacles, instilling fear, with Vajra impetus, the Vajra-hearted, famous for his Vajra, with belly large, with the Vajras of illusion, the Vajra-born, the sovereign of the Vajra, akin to space, his core comprised of Vajras, unmoving, haughty, with his single dreadlock, his clothes an elephant's raw hide, still moist, the great terrific one, who cries ha ha, who screams he, instilling fervent fear, his laugh a screeching laugh, a booming laugh, he is the Vajra laugh, the mighty howl. He is the noble Sattva, Vajrasattva, the Vajra's sovereign lord, the highest bliss, the Vajra's wrathfulness, the highest joy, intoning hums of Vajra Hunkara. With Vajra arrows serving as his weapon, his sword comprised of Vajras slashing all, upholding every Vajra, Vajra bearing with just a single Vajra, ending strife. With eyes like Vajra fire, truly dreadful, with hair that's like a Vajra set ablaze, immersion of the Vajra, a great immersion, with eyes like Vajra's, eyes 100-fold, with Vajra hairs that sprout upon his body, his unique figure marked by Vajra hairs, with nails advancing, Vajras at their tips, with skin that's solid like a Vajra's core. The splendid master donning Vajra garlands, adorned with Vajra-fashioned ornaments, with booming voices, laughter crying, ha-ha, six-syllable, producing Vajra rumbles, great Manjushri, sound supremely loud, a roar unique unto the threefold world, a voice that reaches every bound of space, preeminent amongst all voice endowed. Chapter 8, the wisdom of discernment. He is a being who's fully realized truth, reality, its peak, and selflessness, supreme in propagating emptiness, unspoken, teaching both the deep and vast, the Dharma conch emitting piercing sound, the Dharma gong with lasting resonance, arriving at unbounded liberation. He is the Dharma drum in all directions, without a form, with handsome form, supreme, replete with forms diverse, comprised of mind, with splendor shining through his every form, with all reflections under his control, invincible, renowned as Lord Supreme, the Lord Supreme who rules the threefold world, abiding on the noble's lofty path, great source of flourishing, the Dharma's crown, with youthful form unique unto all worlds, the elder, senior, father of all beings, adorned with 32 auspicious marks, most beautiful, most handsome in all worlds, the teacher teaching mundane good and knowledge, the teacher of all beings, most confident, the teacher's most trusted guide, protector, savior, the refuge unsurpassed, the guardian with rich enjoyments filling all of space, the knowledge ocean of omniscient beings while smashing through the shell of ignorance and breaking through the cage of cyclic life, the thorough queller of intense affliction, arriving at samsara's opposite shore, his crown, the crown of wisdom consecration, his ornaments comprising perfect Buddhas, the soother of the pain of threefold pain, the ender of the trio ending free, arriving at the threefold liberation, completely free from every obscuration, having achieved equality skylight beyond the stains of every last affliction, aware of timelessness in all three times, most eminent amongst all sentient beings, the crown amongst those crowned with noble virtues, completely free from every kind of substrate, established firmly on the path of space, splendid wish-fulfilling jewel in hand, the best of all that's precious, omnipresent, great wish-fulfilling tree, most plentiful, the greatest of all great auspicious verses, fulfilling the aims of living beings, vases, fulfilling the aims of living beings, a doer, an ally, most beloved to all creatures, aware of good and bad, aware of times, the omnipresent knower of the pledges, upholding pledges, conscious of occasions, awake to varied attitudes in beings with expertise in threefold liberation, with virtues, knowing Dharma, auspicious, source of all auspiciousness, of all auspicious things, the most auspicious, great splendor, glory, good, most prosperous, great reassurance, foremost celebration, great joyousness, the highest form of pleasure, abundance, reverence, action, venerable, great happiness, the noble lord of splendor, the greatest granter of all wishes, wished for, the highest source of refuge, refuge granting, the fearsome enemy of potent danger, alleviating danger in all forms, with tufts of hair, with plumes of luscious hair, with matted locks, cord tied, 5 face with 5 hair tufts, his head well crowned, his head adorned with garlands of 5 strands, upholding great observances, head shaven, the foremost of observances, chaste student, with great austerities perfected fully. He is the greatest bather, Gautama, a Brahmin, knower of Brahman, arrived in full at Brahman nirvana, awakening its branches, liberation, release, complete tranquility, quiescence, nirvana, peacefulness, tranquility, approaching graceful entry to nirvana, the culmination, ending pain and pleasure, the state devoid of passion, free from substrates, beyond defeat, unmanifest, unmatched, not making manifest, appearance free, pervasive, timeless, fully omnipresent, minute, beyond defilement, seed-free, unstained, devoid of passion, passionless, controlling humors, free from every illness, by nature most awake and fully awake, omniscient, knowing everything, supreme, most beyond reality as consciousness, pristine awareness, bearing non-dual form, beyond conceptualization, effort-free, acting as Buddhas do in every age, the Buddha, endless and beginningless, the Buddha at the start, devoid of sequence, with wisdom as his only eye, unstained, Tathagata with wisdom as his body, the sovereign of all language, great debater, the king of discourse, best of orators, the best and greatest of communicators, the unassailable, the lion of speech, with universal vision, true delight, with fire garlands, handsome to behold, the endless knot, most radiant, great Nuster, with shining rays in hand, providing light, the best and foremost of all great physicians, unequaled in removing thorns of pain, a tree providing medicine for all, a foe opposing every malady, the lovely crowning jewel of all 3 worlds, a cluster of the stars, most glorious, the end of space in all its 10 directions, the hoisting high of Dharma's victory flag, flag, sharing one large umbrella with the world, with love and kindness as his mandala, the celebrated lotus lord of dance, pervasive with his precious parasol, the blazing energy of all the Buddhas, with bodies fully shared by all the Buddhas, the highest union form with all the Buddhas, a single teaching taught by all the Buddhas, most glorious with Vajraratna's blessing, the highest sovereign lord of Sarvaratna, the king supreme of Sarva Lokeshvara, the lord on high of Sarva Vajradhara, the quintessential mind of Sarva Buddha, residing in the mind of every Buddha, the greatest body born by every Buddha, the lovely speech enriching every Buddha, the scorching brightness from the Vajra sun, with stainless luster from the Vajra moon, great passion of the passionless and others, with multicolored rays that brightly blaze, the perfect Buddha's perfect Vajra posture, retaining for all beings the Buddha's Dharma, the lotus Buddha's celebrated son and knowledge treasurer for the omniscient, the sovereign king controlling all illusions, the foremost master of the Buddha's spells, called Vajra Tikshna, sword supremely mighty, completely pure, the highest syllable, atop pain's remedy, the Mahayana, with Vajra Dharma as his mighty weapon, with Vajra depth, renowned as Jina Jik, with Vajra thought, aware of how things are, perfecting all perfections perfectly, adorned by all grounds of bodhisattvas, the selflessness of pure phenomena, with luster that is moonlight unto knowledge, with great endeavors as illusory nets, the foremost master ruling every tantra, endowed in full with every Vajra posture, completely furnished with all wisdom bodies, completely good with intellect supreme, the embryo of earth, sustaining beings, great embryo from which all Buddhas form, with emanation circles most diverse, the highest nature of all entities, supportive of the nature of all things, with goals for all, with dharmas unarisen, supportive of the nature of all dharmas, with full awareness of phenomena, in but an instant is the wisest sage, with vivid realization of all dharmas. He is a sage, the greatest intellect, the vanquish of hosts of evil spirits, unwavering, completely pure in nature, grasping the wakefulness of perfect Buddhas, the direct realization of all Buddhas. He is the flame of wisdom, luminous. Chapter 9, the wisdom of equality. The great fulfiller of desired aims, the purifier of all evil states, the greatest of all living beings, protector, the earnest liberator of all creatures, unrivaled knight in battle with afflictions, humiliating ignorance his foe, the celebrated mind of amorousness, endowed with forms heroic and repulsive, the dancer moving to and fro his hundreds of lengthy arms while setting down his stride, the dancer spreading through the whole of space and filling it with Srimat's 100 arms, stood tall atop the surface of the earth, the soul of just 1 foot pervading all, stood tall atop the summit of the world, the nail of his big toes suppressing all, whose aim is one, whose aim is non-dual Dharma, whose aim is ultimate, beyond destruction, whose mind consists in groups of consciousness with varied objects, forms, and cognizance, amused with every object of existence, a mind of passion, loving emptiness, transcending worldly passion and the like, with great enjoyment for the threefold world, with fair complexion, white like pristine clouds, with radiance like beams from autumn moons, with luster rivaling the morning sun, with nails emitting light of crimson red, whose handsome crown has sterling sapphires, whose hair has tips of sapphire deep blue, with glory from the light of his great jewel, adorned with emanations of the Buddhas, the shaker of 100 worldly realms, his strength, the four miraculous powers, reality with mindfulness supreme, samadhi king of fourfold mindfulness, infused with sense from bloom on Bodhi's branches, an ocean of tathagata virtues, with knowledge of the eightfold path, true way, with knowledge of the path of perfect Buddhas, the great attachment of all living beings, attachment free, comparable to space, when springing up in every creature's mind, he is for every being as swift as mind, aware of all the aptitudes of beings, while captivating every creature's mind, with insight into aggregated natures, himself with fully pure 5 aggregates, atop the peak of every going forth, most skilled in going forth in every way, established on all paths of going forth, the teacher of all forms of going forth, uprooting all becoming with 12 links, endowed with purity in all 12 forms, his form the way of fourfold noble truth, with realization of the eightfold knowledge, with meaning of the truths in 12-fold form, aware of suchness in its 16 forms, with true awakening in 20 forms, awakened fully knowing all supremes, dispatching countless sets of some 10 million embodiments of emanating Buddhas, the final realization of all moments, who knows each moment's object for all minds, and manifesting for the sake of beings with means derived from varied vehicles, gone forth by all 3 vehicles, remaining in the single vehicle's fruit, with purified afflictive spheres at heart, annihilating every karmic sphere, arrived atop dry land from flooding oceans, emerged from yoga's perilous dark grove, released from general minor and complete afflictions and their latent tendencies, with insights, means, and foremost empathy, achieving fruitful aims for living beings, abiding for objects free through all perceptions, with consciousness as object, with cessation, with every being, the object of his mind, with knowledge that's the mind of all Buddhas, residing in the mind of every being, having become their mind's equality, and satisfying the mind of every being. He is for every being great inner joy, confusion-free regarding points of doctrine, completely free from error in all its forms, his thinking free from doubt, his object threefold, his object all these three properties by nature, throughout all 3 times, the content of 5 skandhas, discerning clearly each and every moment, awakening in but a single moment, his basic nature equal to all Buddhas, with body bodiless, the best of bodies, with realization of the peak of bodies, displaying his form in every possible way. He is the greatest stone, the precious gem, have to attend the wisdom of performing actions. With all the perfect Buddhas are, what all the perfect Buddhas are to know, the Buddha's unsurpassed awakening, devoid of syllables yet born of mantra, arising from great mantra's threefold family, the father to the meaning of all mantras, the greatest bindu, void of syllables, with 5 great syllables, great empty one, 100 syllabled, devoid of bindu, endowed with every form, yet free from form, supporting half of 16 bindus, transcending every grouping, void of members, sustaining dhyana's fourth and final peak, aware of dhyana's each and every aspect, with knowledge of samadhi's types and families, the best of bodies, body of samadhi, the sovereign king of all enjoyment bodies, the best of bodies, emanation body, the heir to emanations of the Buddhas, with varied emanations everywhere, while benefiting all, however needed, the sovereign of the gods, the god of gods, the Sura Lord, the ruler of immortals, the king of deities, the god's guru, the highest lord of Pramatha, emerged from psychic life's imposing forest, a single teacher, guru for all beings, in every well-known world, in all directions, the eminent bestower of the Dharma, concealed by armor made of loving kindness, well shielded by the shield of empathy, with sword, wisdom sword in hand, with bow and arrow, concluding war with ignorance and kleshas, the Mara's enemy and tamer, hero, eliminating threats from all 4 Maras, defeating all the armies of the Maras, a guide for living beings, a perfect Buddha, deserving homage, worthy of respect, deserving reverence, always honorable, deserving worship, worthy of regard, the highest guru ever venerable, traversing all 3 worlds in just one stride, his step extending past the bounds of space, with knowledge of the 3, well versed and pure, with 6-fold higher knowledge and recall, the Bodhisattva and Mahasattva, with power great as transcending worldly life, perfected by his excellence of insight, now unified with insight's highest nature, the whole, aware of self, aware of other, for fit for all he is the best of men, surpassing all to which he is compared, supreme most lord of knowing and what's known, the foremost master of imparting Dharma, who shows the meaning of the 4-fold seal, the most revered amongst all living beings, engaged in going forth on all 3 paths, with glory purified by ultimate truth, most fortunate within the 3-fold world, the celebrated source of all good endowments, supreme among the glorious, Manjushri. Chapter 11, praise for the wisdom of the 5 Tathagas. Homage to you, boon granter, best of Vajras, though summit of existence. Homage to you, whose source is emptiness. O Buddha's awakening, homage to you. O passion of the Buddhas, homage to you. Desire of the Buddhas, I pay you homage. O love of every Buddha, homage to you. The joy of all Buddhas, I pay you homage. O smile of every Buddha, homage to you. The laugh of all the Buddhas, I pay you homage. O speech of every Buddha, homage to you. The heart of all the Buddhas, I pay you homage. Arisen from non-being, homage to you, arisen from the Buddhas. Arisen from the sky, homage to you, born of pristine wisdom. O net of illusion, homage to you, the Buddha's spectacle, homage to you, the everything of all, O body of wisdom, homage to you. Sarva Dharma Baba Swababa Vishuddha Vajra Prakti Prashishuddha Sarva Dharma Yaduta Sarva Tathagata Jnanakaya Manjushri Parishuditam Upadayeti Sarva Tathagata Shradayam Hara Hara Hung Shri Bhagavan Jnana Muti Vagishvara Mahavacha Sarva Dharma Gaganamala Supavishuddha Dharma Datu Janana Gaba. Then Vajradhara, ever glorious, most pleased and satisfied with folded palms, prostrated to the Buddha, noble God, the blessed one, the Lord Tathagata. And with a host of other Vajrapanis of varied forms, the lords of Guyakas, sublime protectors, noble wrathful kings, he then exclaimed this effervescent praise. Protector, we rejoice. How excellent, what you clearly taught. Through you, our lofty aim has been achieved, which leads to true and full awakening. And so the aims of helpless beings who seek the fruits of perfect liberation, just this is taught in the Maya Jala. Okay, for the aims of helpless mundane beings who seek the fruits of perfect liberation, just this is taught in the Maya Jala, the noble path that leads to excellence. With largeness, vastness, and profundity, with meaning great, of achieving beings' aims, just this comprises every Buddha's sphere, just as is taught by all awakened ones. This includes the supreme chanting of the names of the blessed one, Manjushri, the wisdom deity. spoken by the Blessed One, Shakyamuni. That's it. I never understand a single word of it, but I enjoy saying it. Say this little prayer, swift return of Lamas of Rinpoche. This little prayer that His Holiness wrote when Lamas have passed away. We said it last night, we'll say it again now. As this is for Rinpoche to come back, so we're requesting him, please come back, Rinpoche, to continue teaching us. And this is a prayer to request him to come back. Peerless teacher and assembly of children of the victorious ones, Shravakas, Prateka Buddhas, victorious Lozang, father and sons, together with your lineage, all the objects of refuge of the infinite lands, please now bestow the virtue and goodness to accomplish this prayer. In holding and spreading the Muni's precious and complete teaching through explanation and practice, you wore the armor of patience that is never discouraged, incomparable venerable Guru, to your make request, sole gateway through which all benefit and happiness emerge, while striving exclusively for the welfare of the victorious one's teachings and mother living beings, you suddenly departed to peace. Such a great loss. Nevertheless, through the undeceiving truth of the blessings of the ocean of the three jewels and the great waves of the mind generation of the children of the victorious ones, may the smile of a new reincarnation swiftly beam in glory for fortunate disciples. Well, that's it, our people, as usual, 30 minutes, flying like a dream. May it achieve exactly our wishes, which is to come back quickly and continue teaching us. Okay, people? That's it. Goodbye, you lot. See you next Sunday. Yeah, Saturday, I mean. Unless we die between, and if we don't, aren't we lucky? Keep moving. See you, sweethearts. Okay.
Thank you, Venerable.
Okay, darlings. Bye.
Anyone?
Thank you, darling. Bye.